Blue Heart, disaster zone. No one has ever succeeded to take photo a beautiful jewel. Authentic and will not succeed. Using UHD 6K will still be wrong. A big heart of a blue diamond is impossible to keep her in house. But you can marry her for long. Keep it like a flower in a vase. You care buy a car model base. And then you give money for gasoline. You know will be hard but easy. In leasing you have it at least once. Be proud of the whole world dance. Your now blue life commence. Not pink as before take a glance. You're upset man I see you dead. Now you do not see me anymore. At the church the nose is in a molade. You thought at Android and Core. About my father what else to say? I am Jesus my mouth is cold. In your head the sins explode. I see you from heaven every day. You have become small depressing man. You are fat you have a drunkard figure. A character of nothing zero envergure. Puerile incompetent and is too late. Wake you up from your nightmare. Be performant to play at the dam. Do not accept your own life jam. You live in the country run by psychopaths. Not by state brave men just by rats. Not by incorruptibles and erudites. Not by geniuses or by professionals. You are a wooden wheel in the system. You are a rotten chain I'm afraid a stem. Which they can dispense any moment. Null psychopaths driving your country. I gave you the blue heart out of the sky. That you can use to buy the whole world. More precious more expensive than gold. You can punish torturers and thieves. Counterfeiters and idiot fake criminals. Those who judge shrewdly as lawyers. With fake proofs and odious SEC jurists. With protocols and corrupt policemen. You can punish politicians well paid. Who explains it is not good live straight. And not live life in wealthy or even to die. To enroll in the army and be cannon meat. Go to other countries to work like a shit. You can punish prosecutors for mistakes. Not only worship me and upload prayers. To other gods and creatures enlightened. To escape your country of psychopaths. Jesus my name is Blue Heart fear of rats. You had come in us and our lives rise. You gave me children you gave me wife. So depressed how you see me this life. Sometimes I feel go into the grave no lie. I make you God a secret engagement. How long I will live on this blue earth. I am starting to apply your holy word. Even today I swear this on my sword. Well okay my brave blue heart come on. Hurry is late may take your commitment. You will dance and I will sing by whistle. No human axe tails hired with corn powder. We fly again blue heart to the big disaster. Look down at the prosecutor's school. Then we are also flying to judge's pool. We would land on the Quidditch site. For handcuffs match is applied polite. Then we go straight into the lead office. I must confess I do not like it in practice. Jesus and Blue Heart we are waiting for you. 1 more month 1 year plus sorry. Hell what the hell I did do not worry. I reformed from zero the prosecutor's school. I am not doing gossip prosecutors anymore. More studies now are 4 years quite cool. Ready with 2 years incompetent or more. Ready with peasants and torturers kids. Ready with X and 0 tests and profans. Now they learn advanced forensics. Weapons guns munition physical ballistic. After 4 years we send them in field artistic. They do not stay in offices a little briskness. To bronze a little to the skin avoid illness. With police not to rank files as a zen. We teach them not to pretend Robin Hood. Even if many still have a head of wood. We teach them stop lies and torturing. Enlighten law and justice no harassing. Stop believe all they are the justice kings. And that they are like judges magistrates. To know they respond for their mistakes. Criminal proceedings in criminal justice. Professionally at the Wounded Mother Council. They go in jail and I have a premonition still. That after the recent parliamentary elections. They promised them half of their pensions. Jesus is fine now what we do for light? Can we get this country out of blight? That's good, he's my blue heart delegate. He will be your boss in this work, not late. I descend again from heaven after 4 years. Not find one file unworked or classified. With incompetent ordonances terrified. Not even accused people on false evidences. From silly incompetence or lying testimonies. Corridors injustice that brings death. And secret illegal security protocols. I look forward these demands to bless. In 4 years new prosecutors, but I confess. If they will be the same, I abolish this mess. Then I go to the cop of the country high badges. And I teach him to work directly with the judges. All forget that the prosecutors have ever been. Let us fly again now, blue heart, don't stay. At the Polytechnic they are on wrong way. Your country has no longer good engineers. They all left or the faculties are made ashes. Sure you do not make just dumb bullets. This was a famous prodigious university. A world bastion of science and technicity. The best math and the Olympic physics. They dreamed a golden future for 6 years. Blue heart ready now we meet the rector. Who once was a scientist not a director. Or the country's best physicist or the best mathematical professor. Now rector I hear you have president. At the Polytechnic Council a chemist. The one with politics and the eternal minister. With 4 Facebook friends and made disaster. No photo at profile, sad face kind of communist. God but rector what's on your mind? You don't make engineers tell you kind. I see parents and graduates hardly crying. Doctorates and masters without covering. Engineer diplomas that not profess. Who always regrets and confesses. That did not learn anything more than 6 years. That are categorized incompetence by farmers. Students say they only learn squares. And rectangles and expired theories. That there is no physics mathematics. 3,000 girls are admitted in. Many who actually hate engineering. And only do it to show their dresses. The heels of 15 centimeters and stupidness. Singing filthy Monele and God bless. No one will hire any more the graduates. The engineer diplomas are on the walls. I also have sure and dark premonitions. Engineers are stupid as prosecutors in justice. Here you design all the processes wrong slice. Magistrates convicted from innocent defendants. You make from non-technical people engineers. They from the criminals and thieves good guys. You are right, your holy Jesus forgiveness. And tell your Father God up there in skies. That I am a man like any. Now I have nothing to say. This is the fate of our dear beautiful country. To get her in disaster with bellicose policies. No one wants to learn any more in reality. All quick graduate and then only speeches. But Holy One who is sir with you I see good. He is gonna tell you himself head of wood. Rector I am blue heart I see you speechless. We were roommates and knocking you chess. When say you won I made you checkmates. You ate for free in canteen and did donkeys. I was Olympic on country in year 2 and first. What have you done with this country of ours? I see it now as a monkey through the windows. How she twists then he plunges. How she imitates man then rolls. How she does all outside idiocy. Makes our life cruel, bitter and grey. Let us go Jesus, I'm sick of it. I'm disgust by myself I vomit. Let us fly back in our skies blue heart. We shall come back in mode smart. Lucaci Florentin. Poetry and Artwork Grandmaster. Copyright 2019. Lucaci Florentin, land of incompetence, torsionaria. Hi again, I am the character accuse the spy. I'm your man from security, my lovely enemy. Have yet 1,000 eyes and ears on you. People are in chain and have nothing to do. Today in torsionaria still give the tone you don't want. In abusive investigations, incompetent pigs and gangs. I changed a little hairstyle with spit and fresh mobs. I have pink contact lenses you really need or crowds. I have good informants, bloody interlopers and the gods. I also have my prosecutors, judges and police officers. They signed up with me in book at the security office. For as I want happened when they will do justice. They have signed commitments and justice falls. I also gave them patriotic security officer ranks. I know you are amazed, my dear, you knew me, prosecutor. That is why I lead in laughing at human society in horror. I have companies and money in Virgin Archipelagos but also in Aber. And newer, what to say, at the monastery I am Grand General Major. And in my spare spy time I play jokes with files as a prosecutor. With my wife who has majors of security in court as registrars. We advanced, no longer giving Skype and WhatsApp sentences. We are now working total digitalized legally. Communicating and condemning securely. Whoever we want from torsionaria as I showed you. And then no one responds if is a mistake or not true. We have our secret laws and mafia also have protocols. Equally secret all but profoundly illegal and criminals. In order to always put who we want in the jail. Poor victims of justice without a legal true trail. For the sake of our high secret benefactors. We can safely escape anybody from prisons. I have to do public services in high-level files. I changed the ministers like the socks on feet. We have changed the hundreds of prosecutors. And arrested innocent people, dozens of judges. I changed the laws of justice, we have no regret in our minds. I shoot those bodies and the wrongfully convicted defendants. There were no bosses to punch me in the chest. I go safe without emotions, I know what to expect. I was just a poor boy before the law school. Now I'm deadly big fish in the swimming pool. There was no one like me in torsionaria anymore. Neither the wife from the dispenser in that store. She advanced on her files where the money are sweet. Little work at the grocery store after the security meet. There is no higher courthouse in my beautiful country. My convicted with smartphone hide others' felony. They haven't even heard of me blaming the system. Just don't be a sucker, don't accept own requiem. As in the story of the sheep and the wolf, kill them. I'm the new god of secret justice based on protocols. And the orange I planted made thousands of oranges. To get on with me you have to be strong hinges. Otherwise you get minced meat for the pizzas. I'm the eminent grey mafia in the local elections. Already appointed on time and for the general ones. I hardly sabotaged the new and clean laws of justice. What it would be at time of retirement or disappearance. To find me guilty of a ancient crime, an elf of the justice. To answer criminally after the fingerprints or the tooth. That I buried last year for missing in a mafioso cutout. About 3 high officials under the rails on the subway. Some honest politicians heads to the tram at the depot. I deleted the traces professionally, I just wasn't bull. But I'm afraid tomorrow for my career, I'm not fool. My wife's just like you is afraid strong as hell. That we're going to starve all 4 of us again. The expensive cars and the palace will be taken by some. Not that I would be of any great value, but like everyone. I did as I could without being violent procurer. Not hurting my victims who screamed louder. Had socks pierced with broken shoes on my feet. I had no money for mountain and sea holidays. I did not have money possibilities of faculties. Our lives have been a continuous compromise. With crime, basic lies, something indescribable. Not in vain did my colleagues joke, they told me. My filth has turned me into an outlaw, also she. But what could I do to make a golfer a poor employee? I also participated in an armed robbery with policemen. To get her children involved in the crime, I got involved. I asked for life sentences and my judges approved me. The accusation always cares for me and the obtuse wife. Already our old-time games are not fun anymore. Take care of me and her as no one accuses us, or as they were some of you buried in the ground. 10 and 6 years ago at the stadium in the lawn. Accuse my land torsionaria is in other books and influencers. with sinister stories invented far away in other dimentias. You do the duty of a faithful orc and execute debts from all who command you, but also from other rags. Accuse me of being humble, you will never rule here. Be servant submissive as a chocolate, give me your pin. By people responsible for making the country clean. We never want hear about local entrepreneurs. With you your family will be fine, we have other plans. Don't leave your eyes, look at me in the eyes, take care. In Torsionaria you must to arrest all we want in despair. To close their hospitals, schools, shops and affairs. Look, rich is your country, we built malls everywhere. We find all that is needed here, not hidden from you. Forests good to cut and many oil and gases wells. So we must end all this corruption in disjunctions. And we will modernize Torsionaria and the forests. And we will bore wells in the unused oil and gases. We are not interested in your guiltiness or innocence. Let us find everything cheap and hungry work people. On one side fill the jails again, with another outside. Scholars, children of Torsionaria, good men and women. Humble foundry accuse, we raised you, don't use a pen. From a bad peasant I made you a great man of state. You got rid of the wagons in the train station and late. You have 2 huge salaries you never expect. Don't disappoint us, informer, spy, accuse, don't even think. We will find you whenever you are on this blue earth. If you betray us, better you stick the ball in the ass. In this life of nothing the great rules are made by us. Lucaci Florentin. Magic Poetry Grandmaster. Author Creator. Copyright 2019. Lucaci Florentin. Coronavirus, pandemic, pandemia, pandemi, pi alpha nu delta eta mu iota alpha, English version. I lay terrified, sick and intubated in total silence. Decimated by coronavirus as hepatitis in school age. I worship God, I don't know how long, listen a bit. I see myself in a dream dying and resurrecting from the pit. Good Lord, I was a poor diaspora, what I mistake. To be a victim in Emilia-Romagna without meditating. I step like a pig in plane, like a bourgeoisie, no praying. To land at Otopeni very sick without stress and hate. That I will sick a whole country, Romania, too late. I am going to kill innocent people, my anger burst. Where did I know that I was killing my family first? Seeing all of them dead, lay in the dead house just where I am stretched, cut yellow and embalmed. Although this morning I was still breathing, intubated. I was a sweaty lake, I looked like a mad dog. On the hands and face of a week not washed. I saw my wife dying before my children crushed. I told myself how stupid you could be and wrong. To leave the house empty and without owners to the toys. Bring the death to my wife and those funeral things. You took me to heaven in terrible airless torments. But my God, I have one more thing to ask of you, smashed. Get my money I earned 10 years until I'm unemployed. Get my remaining homes full furnished, eternal frosted. And make top modern equipped hospitals, God. Vaccines and faculties, research units. Find a good cure for all human diseases. Not to die all of a sudden falling backward. I have been working for 10 years so hard. I only ate the misery, I had not even soap good. To see my family and children well I understood. With longing and their image in mind I only tell you. The dust of everyone and everything bought was chosen. I knew at the start that I could even bring death proven. But I risked everything, I got more expensive out of all. Broken clay pots remained last night overall. At least you were taking me to heaven, only me. I still cry so dead I feel tears and hear turbines. We had holiday tickets for the islands Maldives. On them are still killing viruses like sick balls. They have dozens of raised suckers coming into you. Nourished with tissues from my throat and lungs. It decimates you without pain even if you don't want to. They suck you from life and put you on skates to death. In vain you expect the miraculous vaccine beautifully. My generation missed him and dies meticulously. Ready with what we learn in school in another match. That any disease and microbe or virus can be cured. Here you do not say that can live with a tooth removed. And even without denture you eat the steak with splash. But you are in the hand of lady in black dress. I wonder why, 'cause I just wasn't a poor man. I was watching the neighbors in the plane. In flight back Romania to all the passengers. All told of coronavirus, some wore masks. I am a filthy man walking with serious donkeys. Quarantine running away and other lies. I come from the land where the gangs die. I also saw ads in newspapers and on TV. I told myself, desperate, what if I die, I die. Nobody knows about me living a horror movie. And some even give me advices how I laugh. It was just not to stay in the quarantine boot. Where there were thousands of new cases on a light day. Were posthumous statistics at hundreds of deaths a day. In the malls you went to a meter you will not believe. All shelves remained empty at ESP daily. I have to get out of here, I must be wary. I hear that in communes there is no one to bury the coronavirus dead who stay very far away. They have to stay in the house with the dead bodies. Until police or armed forces come to their addresses. For nothing in the elections I voted mockeries. I have denigrated all things and people in RO. I was feeling big at my age, I was full of Euro. And my home country was full of garbage. I voted for a better future, not like you. All the old men and old women smelling of garlics. I humiliated the country in face of millions foreigners. It wasn't like we were all from a Christian family, true. I told them at home there were left only old bitches. Social assisted corrupted thieves and the red plagues. They plundered the whole country as theirs. They sold petroleum gases, forests and vines. 3 months with this deadly coronavirus. I had a revelation, they opened magic portals. When I realized in life for the first times. I never had or paid health insurances. I had teeth in my mouth like millstones. Plagued with diseases and lungs like tars. Told myself this summer I run a month in Romania. Here would cost me a fortune to make my baldness. I'm going to those stupid guys who stayed homes. Let them to do me good health and nobody cares. That we did not pay insurances, taxes in RO. But at elections I always play them in note due. That have underfunded medical system guilty. That doctors are absent or corrupted or shitty. Wow, what a bitch I have been in my life. Now I can say the story is over and right. An angry incompetent guy, wrong-headed totally. I always wanted be good together with my family. Although at whores honestly nobody cares. I was able to give them thousands of euros. To other hookers with towels and bottles. Instead of sending euro home to Dorohoi. For you to have all and for both children. Forgive me my wife, now you are gone. I was a hateful killer, forgive what I done. Forgive me children, I miss you dearest. But look at me now, my son has also set. Slain by the pandemic coronavirus. Creator author. Lucaci Florentin. Magic Poetry Grandmaster. Copyright 2020. Lucaci Florentin, The King and the Modern Virgins in Love, English version. You showed me great love the first time I was smarter. Now I can imagine what virgin delights you have prepared for me, I can't wait. I have a cloak full of noble decorations spread all over my chest. It is no longer a courtier to have her bigger or smarter. In the castle I built, my word is the only thing certain. I sit with my wife at the table setting up the country at a glass of mulled wine. The virgin ladies of the castle have an eternal concrete thing. May my physical tone always maintain my inert moral environment. Bring immediately the country's finance minister, we have no budget. I have nothing to pay the high officials and I am cautious. I see that the wealth of some subjects is great compared to their header function. I have to settle all the senseless income in the perfect way. Yes, your greatness, Here I am, I know what the wool is, I also have an intellect. Cut 3/4 to the judges if you consider this. I think we fit in perfectly with 2/3 cut at the prosecutors. Let no one be upset, we will increase by the same negative amount as before. Good minister, but I advise you, I have to paint my castle with plaster and washable of the best quality and repair the rack with hunting weapons until my enemies kill me. That I keep them loaded with ammunition on the piano, and I'm not the kind. I must be a good example to my subjects and organization. Not to lie in misery and disorder like everyone says and wants. Yes, sir, I understand that we increase pensions negatively after checking the army to buy fewer bullets and wearing clothes. The police also give up holidays in the mountains and at sea. We abolish the specials. Farewell to 50 years of retirement. Even the work in factories and plants is for bitter destinies. For me, everything you order me is a big challenge. Well, I decided my accountant, so you'll make it come again in January. Let the Minister of Justice come to me in a hurry. I was here Emperor, but I did not dare to enter. Sit at the table, serve with you, I have something delicate to talk about. I decided to pardon some men in the prison. Thank you, Judge, for coming. For my birthday, I want to tell the people that it's hard to press by a handful of landlords and bourgeois boyars, and I am tired too. My submissive poor people have nothing and no light to read. They don't have bread on the table, milk, meat, eggs or wine to drink. I want a prosperous, healthy people, not weak, ill and badly afflicted. Men tall like trees and good hard-working women good to love. Not sick, weak, hungry people who are eternally malnourished. Or pimp thieves and criminals and all kinds of bandits. I don't want to see criminal clans protected by acolytes anymore. No new victims of the legal system parasitized by non-educated people. You, Minister of Justice, leaving me what you are going to do. I don't want to hear empty words and not keep your covenant. Sir, I have loved people since I was born on this earth. Yes, released detainees for your birthday, sir, is a sacred holy sign. Free the straight detainees out of the big, salty mines, where you have no place to sit on the chair but only lay on the back. Make a list of them, your greatness, and I will release them all. But no offense for food, call Minister of Agriculture. He will tell you directly how to make everyone to have food. And the clans will all disappear and give the meanders of hatred for good positions as beggars in the western lands. And if you want a healthy people, call the Minister of Health. He laid the foundations of the medicine that is the guardian of life. I tried to be the guardian of your laws and justice. I don't guide, sir, you where others are professionals. Good Judge Minister, I like your words, you will receive my list. The rest is up to you to tell me when I will decree. The Minister of War, come to me if he wants another star. I am on great wheels as a loving king, it is not a miracle at all. Sire, the Minister of Agriculture asks to enter the royal audience. Come in, I saw your face and I have an empty pantry. And my eternal people are always hungry or sitting on the pot. When the insatiable specials work in a hurry or nothing. Come in, Minister of Agriculture, how we feed the people. We talk about plagues and we lie them again with the TV set. We put them to wear a mask to clean with a vacuum cleaner. We put them to isolate in their small huts with the computers. After 3 months we give them a little freedom in the garden. Enough for them to go to work and slave all daylight. Let the economy start so that we don't stay in the dark. Let's have new big specials incomes and the illegal pension again. Because if they stay in isolation and don't work like that at home, we will wake up all the abusive torturers in the dangerous race. That we have nothing left to bring home and put on the table. Although we have preserved these rights with odious force. I understand, Minister of Agriculture, you blame the security forces. That they are both torturers and oranges and now very sad. And that they support criminal gangs and country gangs. Who make the laws in counties with their faces covered with masks. Good agriculture, you think I have to buy more wheat? Or make the virgins in the palace work harder? I'm not going to be abandoned by women like a old lion. I have my special washed girls educated virgins pour me. Agriculture is true that it rains continuously without stopping. It raises my rating just like that at a glance. For virgins eager to have sex or to grow quickly. I tell you in front of you king not to get by mistake a little poison. I got mad at them and gave them away confused and hurried. Top tools from SEC's shop for making love alone. Although the priest I put on didn't really glorify them. He himself seems to the expert virgins not overjoyed. And sire, what's left now? Send people to the parsnip to pick. All the subjects who do not love you and have no choice. You don't have time for stories to stay at home, of course. You can find other virgins in the village in winter if you wear a fez. Well, Mr. Agriculture, I want food or you don't understand. I don't just want virgins who do sex for interest. You will have enough food for every man in the country. I don't hold you, sir, but I tell you the second time. If your poor subjects have no bread to eat, give them popcorn cakes with the money taken out at the ATM. Emperor came also the Minister of Health receive him? He is poor and seems to have the flu in a house in Gioliti. What else can this story figure tell? When you have already received real news from the security. Dr. Minister, you know I'm relying on you. Get rid of the country of flu, serious diseases and mud. But not only eating sliced onions and garlic. That's why I spent my fortune and my money. Your Majesty, I have the magic potion, the perfect solution. Even if it's a little abusive not to say abject. We close all borders and schools, operetta theaters. We also imprison those subject to wives or a cheerleader. And everyone who remains on the streets we gather with the army. And we would deport all the piles to the island of happiness. With no documents, without goods and no right of return. And so we got rid of all those who bother us. Your Majesty, with your loved ones and the divine royal suites. They have prepared casinos full of virgins. Even naughty mares are ready to choose. Raised small with goat's milk and midwives. You won't even notice your greatness being in quarantine. You will be loved day and night by a virgin. Gioconda is a pale replica of an unfriendly copy. Which more is fired and works from home. It's not long before the first one doesn't even look beautiful. Besides the wild virgins you'll have in the house. They will all modern models in love. How well your Majesty will be willing to be paid. It turns out you're the health minister. And the one who called you of justice. And the one before him of agriculture. Good, I'll order the army what you said. Get rid of all that until sunset. But listen to me, all four, take care. I'm the king and I act like hell. If you do not fulfill everything you promised, you will wake up in the darkest dream. Don't make me, 'cause I am the king. A poor vassal and sinister government. I changed you all like beads. Do you want a prime minister now? For my lovely worldwide fans. Lucaci Florentin. Poetry and Artwork, Grandmaster, copyright. Copyright 2020. Lucaci Florentin, Perfume of Happiness, Parfum de Félicité, English version. What I like your new dresses. We both sit embrace in arms. Get dressed or wet or naked. You radiate, you are full of love. You smell of happiness perfume. And you are wife, what a fulfilling. How sweet is your life now. After love with soap and water. Not all alone, I want to say. You hug me, I scream like crazy. You give me all your sweetness. Our senses run downhill on wheels. Nothing stands in their way. You excite me so much it's a pity. You kiss me everywhere all the time. Sensations are nothing ambiguous. I play detached on field in the center. From all sides is only you. You maximize my forms and fire. Nothing in the game is ours anymore. You bite me, you're a little monster. You scream loud, I lose my hearing. You kept for me virgin delights. And your sacred fire just for me. Like a whole hive of savage bees. We don't sting, we love each other well. When tired, you come from the office. You assault me, you kiss me again. I remain suffocate with an ox figure. We make love again is not a new thing. You say that you kept yourself for me. Virgin and with love you seasoned me. Big surprise, but it all came in. And the white sheet is pretty clean. Instead of naive and clumsy gestures. You love like fakir on a needle's carpet. I wonder hell what virgin can do this. You haven't given me peace for a month. You are a professional car lover at 360. From all angles you put her in the match. Then quickly you rub it and bring it. Major and strong eruptions. Both are hard like two nuts. You take her again from head to toe in slippers. You make fried eggs on me with lettuce. You are a 3D machine in terrain mode. I always feel like train trampled. I feel like a poor alien from an expert. You treat me badly in frantic training. You say at orgasms that you have to recover. The years when I didn't pay attention to you. Although you loved me wet all and unexpectedly. You falsely complained me premeditated. You showed up with all the underworld. Like Fox 'cause you had new video to cast. You were the service virgin in the habitat. Who doesn't sleep with a man at all? For a shitty casting at a poor role. Even you came at 2 from him bed. Full of spots and with a stained air. But at checkpoint also virgin you declare. That the poor man ejaculated in the sink. We do not register radical from oral squared. That's why you gained weight like a pig. That instead of sports and daily running. You had to double whiskey and promo. And to whore from dawn to dusk. Now you want me to make you a clean wife. As you wanted in the criminal false files. But I don't walk with a broken ball. Who goes well from gate to gate? Lucaci Florentin. Magic Poetry Grandmaster Copyright 2020. I do not like this world. My wife is sick, she is a easy woman. She advertises her pictures on Facebook. She gathered likes from an Arab and a eunuch. Instead of getting it all in her throat every day. I know you are an uneducated fool. I do not need an idiot gypsy tool. Who brags about being my wife. Withdraw everything that brings you trouble. I know you love me madly. You give everything for a day with me. You keep yourself cast to be a wife. You always want to show that to me. No, but do not force me to see the deep cut that is ruining your look. There has to be something one way. What do you do when you will be pregnant? You ask me in the evening to take you lightly. Although it is really bad, I feel like I am dying. Beg me not to push hard through the decor. But you really get stuck in me worried. You keep exposing your bronzed thighs. I see your huge black dirty fingers. Long unwashed without pedicure. You say sorry they are filmed the same way. You are proud to have it big like a horse. Orally it is like singing at the pipe. Big one is into you and feeling phenomenal. The river flows from upstream to downstream. You do not feel threatened anymore. Although you have a full stomach operation. Have no more feeling of fear. You are trying to be full of juice. You lick me all like a cow salt. You make her get up big again. I only have your saliva on my face. You moan loudly like a locomotive. You have 3 times mega orgasms. An hour and you go back into spasms. Put your hand on her for back intro. Say you keep virgin only for me. I am sincerely afraid for you. In 2 pieces right after the operation. Not to break your body having good sex. Although you have 2 children, you ask me insatiably. You ask me between the breasts. And you want it under your arm. You goat with handcuffs tied with a noose. Above a whole match of VJ Ha. You tell me I am the love of your life. You arrest me during the day, bring sarmail. You pretend harassed and beg for money. Give like to impotence in Heim Anals. To put you director at the Pink House. You bow down at stupid comments. To get a sandwich or a glass of whiskey. Free and give them what only you know. That are free suck and hateful orgies. I do not like this world. That is all I say, and that is enough. Pure gross incompetence. Destroyed drift Romania. Healthy people die with days. In hospitals of death or in villas. At ATI intubated under the shingles. On slow rescue cars too childish. Pensions laws are not respected. There are no money forever, we are told. Enormous specials are accepted. The perfect life for 30 years. Contributivity is for fools. For voters or for idiots. Unjust specials are taken by force. Whoever opposes, we burn him with a torch. Of blind and crooked unjust justice. Securitate in a wrong constitution. In which every sinister rogue. They always put with force of weapons. That they deserve pensions and income. Thousands of times bigger than doctors. Than engineers, than teachers and others. That they are gods, not evil criminals. We see thousands of miserable specials. Retired at the age of 45 years. Advising the hard-working enslaved people. That it is normal to retire at the age of 65. The streets are full of gendarmes and policemen. Newer by army and new securitate. Many with 3 months of school and sad. That they did not go to the theater to be artists. They all have enormous salaries. They running away from responsibility. They have people in Parliament and the Senate. To maintain their earned immorality. They have unions and union leaders. Greece abolished them all. In RO they made pensions and salaries at square. Security in parties makes you dizzy. Their first job is to abolish SIIJ. Not to respond to heinous mistakes. Of incompetent and sloppy justice. Neither do prosecutors with baseless allegations. Not even magistrates with hazy judgments. This is no longer justice, it is gun with acathist. Of a post-communist and securitate regime. Self-maintained like an old octopus. Only us to have something to put in the pan. What a beautiful country and world once were. Great, proud, clean and healthy. I do not like this world and this country. Be careful. Not every lawyer can be a prosecutor or a judge. Not every professor of literature can be a poetry grandmaster. Not every engineer can be a designing engineer. Lucaci Florentin. Poetry and artwork grandmaster. Lucaci Florentin. Coronavirus, pandemic, pandemia, pandemi, pi alpha nu delta eta mu iota alpha, English version. I lay terrified, sick and intubated in total silence. Decimated by coronavirus as hepatitis in school age. I worship God, I don't know how long, listen a bit. I see myself in a dream dying and resurrecting from the pit. Good Lord, I was a poor diaspora, what I mistake. To be a victim in Emilia-Romagna without meditating. I step like a pig in plane like a bourgeoisie, no praying. To land at Odo Penny very sick without stress and hate. That I will sick a whole country, Romania too late. I am going to kill innocent people, my anger burst. Where did I know that I was killing my family first? Seeing all of them dead lay in the dead house just. Where I am stretched, cut yellow and embalmed. Although this morning I was still breathing, intubated. I was a sweaty lake, I looked like a mad dog. On the hands and face of a week not washed. I saw my wife dying before my children crushed. I told myself how stupid you could be and wrong. To leave the house empty and without owners to the toys. Bring the death to my wife and those funeral things. You took me to heaven in terrible airless torments. But my God, I have one more thing to ask of you, smashed. Get my money I earned 10 years until I'm unemployed. Get my remaining homes full furnished eternal frosted. And make top modern equipped hospitals God. Vaccines and faculties research units. Find a good cure for all human diseases. Not to die all of a sudden falling backward. I have been working for 10 years so hard. I only ate the misery I had not even soap good. To see my family and children well I understood. With longing and their image in mind I only tell you. The dust of everyone and everything bought was chosen. I knew at the start that I could even bring death proven. But I risked everything I got more expensive out of all. Broken clay pots remained last night overall. At least you were taking me to heaven only me. I still cry so dead I feel tears and hear turbines. We had holiday tickets for the islands Maldives. On them are still killing viruses like sick balls. They have dozens of raised suckers coming into you. Nourished with tissues from my throat and lungs. It decimates you without pain even if you don't want to. They suck you from life and put you on skates to death. In vain you expect the miraculous vaccine beautifully. My generation missed him and dies meticulously. Ready with what we learn in school in another match. That any disease and microbe or virus can be cured. Here you do not say that can live with a tooth removed. And even without denture you eat the steak with splash. But you are in the hand of lady in black dress. I wonder why, 'cause I just wasn't a poor man. I was watching the neighbors in the plane. In flight back Romania to all the passengers. All told of coronavirus some wore masks. I am a filthy man walking with serious donkeys. Quarantine running away and other lies. I come from the land where the gangs die. I also saw ads in newspapers and on TV. I told myself desperate what if I die I die. Nobody knows about me living a horror movie. And some even give me advices how I laugh. It was just not to stay in the quarantine boot. Where there were thousands of new cases on a light day. Were posthumous statistics at hundreds of deaths a day. In the malls you went to a meter you will not believe. All shelves remained empty at ESP daily. I have to get out of here I must be wary. I hear that in communes there is no one to bury. The coronavirus dead who stay very far away. They have to stay in the house with the dead bodies. Until police or armed forces come to their addresses. For nothing in the elections I voted mockeries. I have denigrated all things and people in RO. I was feeling big at my age I was full of Euro. And my home country was full of garbage. I voted for a better future not like you. All the old men and old women smelling of garlics. I humiliated the country in face of millions foreigners. It wasn't like we were all from a Christian family true. I told them at home there were left only old bitches. Social assisted corrupted thieves and the red plagues. They plundered the whole country as theirs. They sold petroleum gases, forests and vines. 3 months with this deadly coronavirus. I had a revelation they opened magic portals. When I realized in life for the first times. I never had or paid health insurances. I had teeth in my mouth like millstones. Plagued with diseases and lungs like tars. Told myself this summer I run a month in Romania. Here would cost me a fortune to make my baldness. I'm going to those stupid guys who stayed homes. Let them to do me good health and nobody cares. That we did not pay insurances taxes in RO. But at elections I always play them in note due. That have underfunded medical system guilty. That doctors are absent or corrupted or shitty. Wow, what a bitch I have been in my life. Now I can say the story is over and right. An angry incompetent guy wrong-headed totally. I always wanted be good together with my family. Although at whores honestly nobody cares. I was able to give them thousands of euros. To other hookers with towels and bottles. Instead of sending euro home to Dorohoi. For you to have all and for both children. Forgive me my wife now you are gone. I was a hateful killer forgive what I done. Forgive me children I miss you dearest. But look at me now my son has also set. Slain by the pandemic coronavirus. Creator author. Lucaci Florentin. Magic Poetry Grandmaster. Copyright 2020. Lucaci Florentin, Pyromania. Everything is water and fire around me. I wonder if that's always been the case. When I see the country the way I want it. Not like any pathetic bastard wanted. The children did not go to school for a long time. They stay online until they get up at noon. Hospitals burn and kill everything around them. This is demonstrated there almost everyone dies. You go to the emergency room to do the best for him. Quickly your eyes are in tears, he died, they called you. The loved one did not have much, he was recovered. How to die is not possible, how he had succeeded. The pension increase has long been a law promised. At last it was a pale ray of happiness. And figures of SEC jurists and tricksters are coming. With bulging eyes in a robe and slippers. Explain that you can't and won't. You'll work until you're 70. And there are figures with insensitive specials. Suits and uniforms in the folded wardrobe. They explain that their pensions at 40 are normal. Huge non-contributions for insensitive specials. And there are policemen who do nothing. They make fun of files with their little dwarf brain. They pretend to work for 3 years and then classify. Only stupid stories for children, idiotic stories. Prosecutors with private faculties made in the evening. Or former cops or torturers bring reproach. Incompetent and accuses or apologizes you. That you stole and stabbed the jellyfish. Then to the magistrate when you go mad and arrested. You curse your days, he has no brain for judgment. One surrogate is sitting on the judge seat. He does not read the file and the defense, he is teleguided. He looks agnostic without any contribution, anesthetized. Unable due to lazy imposture, stupid grammar. The job of engineer is no longer in the nomenclature. The rich country once became, everyone laughed. A young girl with long red heels asks you. Who make the shuttle in the countryside in skinny jeans? With what code to assimilate the function of engineer? She searches the internet frantically with her eyes on the sky. For she has never seen or heard of it in her life. What an engineer means is maybe a sleeping bag. At the mall the peasants burst into the cash registers. Screamingly dressed in fossil costumes. I shake your hands quickly and empty your baskets. When they stop once you pay the prices. Talking on the smartphone costs 3 salaries. In the peasant language with mistakes and nonsenses. While admiring her red stone ring on the finger. My God sir, my red heart-on ring is dirty again. And she pulls a tongue full of saliva on the ring. In disgrace to customers standing in line. Everyone pray why they are allowed to see. In the end of the victory brings out a oh dear. Incompetence and frivolity are laws. New of democracy suffocated by the belligerents. We keep boasting about the great history of kings. The present is suffocated like the skin of warts. TV explanations from all kinds of strategies. To justify the mountains of iniquities. We are presented with parties to vote cyclically. Even we don't want in the cruel pandemic. Everyone promises miracles but we don't believe them. Retirees vote the right parties and we see that they demand increases that the law provides. Would the left parties do all this ruin? We think we are defend and protect by the EU. But the massive stockpile of vaccines is still not here. If we didn't sell oil, gases and all the riches, we could buy vaccines from anywhere. We put the fools of the nation in power. They do not think and have an answer to everyone. Buying masks requires approvals. No more money for any special pension. But pyromania borrows money heavily. Soon a generation will enter the grave. Those who knew what education meant. What will pay off these mega loans? Gases and oil for nothing, do not be glad. Or we're going to sell our ancestors' land. They do other frivolous financial gimmicks. The whole planet is talking about giving up to a heartbreaking concept of globalization. Who is already dead from start writes in the newspapers. Everyone in their country has to do well. From vaccines, needles, food or lettuce. If they still have money to import they can bring. What more globalization when without a mask? You're not even allowed to leave the house. How to go to other foreign countries? When local viruses kill in a pandemic. The problem is whether the EU is dissolving. In pyromania, how do you see life still? No oil gas factories and all the riches. Without engineers, doctors, and all industries. The country was not built by insensitive specials. All sorts of cops and security guards arrived. The country was built by engineers and architects. They did not run away from responsibility like bastards. They did not believe themselves to be saints and gods. As insensitive specials, a kind of demigods. They were criminally liable for each project. Not like those who make mistakes and hide abjectly. After all sorts of juridical misunderstandings. While receiving the special mega salaries. In Greece all these social parasites are history. They have long since been abolished and are in misery. In pyromania everything is the opposite as in Greece and the EU. So if there will be an EU after the pandemic, pyromania will certainly be a non-EU state. Lucaci Florentin. Magic Poetry Grandmaster. Copyright 2021.